Hello! Welcome back to another Vanmanyo Reviews episode. In this series, I review rail journeys that I take across the UK. I review them on several factors, which are combined at the end of the episode to give us a total score out of 100. Then this is compared with other scores I've taken from other videos across the series, combined in a mega table to see which journey is truly the nicest in the UK. Today is the turn of the TPE Express Class 68, here from Manchester Piccadilly. Before we get on to the Class 68 and Mk5as, I would appreciate it so much if you subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you. Just before we look at our Class 68 Mk5a set, here's one departing earlier for Scarborough. These units were built by CAF and entered service in August 2019 with TPE Express, hauled by a Class 68 diesel locomotive. As of this video's release, these units have now been withdrawn from service. This is due to unreliability with the Mk5as and lack of funding from the Department for Transport, resulting in huge capacity losses for TPE Express. So let's have a look at what these sets had to offer before they left service, and see potentially where their future lies with new operations. So come join me on the hop from Manchester Piccadilly to Stalybridge on this Vanmanyo Reviews episode. And here's our loco. 68025 will be doing the honours on the 13-minute trip to Stalybridge. The Mk5s do have first class, which I've been told is a very good offering. Weirdly, it's very close to the loco, meaning it'll probably be quite loud in the carriage. Anyway, let's head in to our standard class seat. Today's service was extremely busy, and I struggled quite a lot to find a seat. Hence why this review may not be as in-depth as other reviews I've done, which you can check in the full playlist in the link in the description below. Standard class is laid out in a 2x2 configuration, and I managed to get a table seat for today's journey. Legroom is pretty adequate, and there's good charging facilities. The seat itself was quite dirty actually, and was not the comfiest, with light back padding, as well as small plastic armrests. The toilet on the other hand was modern, clean, and everything worked fine, so good mark for that. And 2 minutes late, we departed Manchester Piccadilly. Although the service was busy, meaning it was quite noisy inside, the actual amount of noise that you could hear from the actual train and the tracks was very minimal, so I was impressed there. I do like the heaters right by the windows. CAF are notorious for their pretty poor ride quality, and sadly this remains here, with ride quality not being the best. This isn't helped by a relatively uncomfortable seat, meaning that the whole journey felt a little bit uncomfortable. When you compare this to the Chiltern Railways Mk3s, it seems as though the Chiltern ones, which are a lot older, are the better option. TPE do make it up though with a trolley service, which was available on today's journey. And before too long, we were pulling into Stalybridge. So let's have a look at the scores of this journey and the future of these units. I gave today's journey 64 out of 100, or 64%. Some positives to take was the toilet facilities, the catering, the cleanliness, and the punctuality, which were all good points. The ride quality and the cost of the journey was not particularly good, and that's where it lost marks. Now let's have a look at this journey's score compared to the other journeys I've reviewed on the channel. Make sure you watch those videos first in the link in the description below. I ranked this TPE journey second in the table, just below the Avanti West Coast service. I would say the reason the TPE journey was lower ranked than the Avanti 390 was due to the lack of free seats available, as well as ride comfort and punctuality being below Avanti. It did however beat the Transport for Wales, West Midlands Railway and cross-country journeys, with the TPE sets having superior comfort and amenities on offer compared to the other TOCs. And that's my short review on the TPE Mk5a Class 68 sets. It is a real shame that they're being withdrawn, as they are a real benefit to Transpacific Express, providing them with very useful capacity on these routes. The routes that they do operate are across the Transport line from Manchester to Scarborough, across York, Huddersfield, as well as probably other routes that I haven't mentioned. Anyway, just before I show you our TPE Class 68 departing from Stalybridge, I'll have a little talk about the future of the Mk5as. Once they go into storage, there are several rumours about new operators that could take up the Class 68 and Mk5a stock. These include Chiltern Railways to replace their Mark III units, which are now over 30 years old. Or it could be Cross Country, who would use them on services between Cardiff and Stansted Airport to free up Class 170s on other routes. Or finally, Transport for Wales is a name that's also been mentioned. I would imagine that these units will go to Chiltern, who already operate the Class 68 locomotive, meaning that training drivers will be a lot easier. Or they might just never return to service again due to their unreliability, which would be a huge shame and I hope does not happen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this review. Please do consider liking or subscribing if you did enjoy this journey. Thank you very much for watching, and I will leave you with our departure out of Stalybridge. Goodbye.